You know, everyone's always talking about omega-3 supplements, fish oils, and those little golden capsules that supposedly fix everything from your heart to your brain. But here's the shocking truth. If you're taking omega-3 is hoping to rebuild muscle, recover faster, or wake up stronger in the morning, you might be wasting your time and your money, because the real magic for overnight muscle repair doesn't come from omega-3s at all. It comes from two vitamins that almost nobody's talking about. Two nutrients that, when taken at night, can actually help your muscles rebuild while you sleep. And no, they're not some expensive, fancy supplements. They're vitamins your body already knows, but probably isn't getting at the right time or in the right way. So, if you've been feeling sore, tired, or stuck in your muscle growth despite working hard, stay with me, because once you understand how these two vitamins work, you'll never go to bed the same way again. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room: omega-3 supplements. For years, they've been sold as this ultimate cure-all: heart health, brain focus, anti-aging, you name it. But the truth is, when it comes to actual muscle rebuilding, omega-3s play only a supporting role. Yes, they can reduce inflammation, but they don't directly trigger the muscle repairing signals that your body depends on during sleep. What your muscles really crave at night isn't fish oil. It's a combination of recovery nutrients that feed your cells while your body goes into deep repair mode. And that's where these two nighttime vitamins come in. Before I reveal what they are, think about this. When you go to sleep, your body doesn't just rest, it actually goes into a full-blown construction phase. Tiny muscle fibers that were torn during your workout begin to fuse together, forming stronger, thicker fibers. Your nervous system resets, hormones like growth hormones surge, and your body does the most important rebuilding it will do all day. But here's the problem. This entire process depends on having the right raw materials available. If those nutrients aren't in your system at night, your body can't complete that repair cycle properly. It's like trying to build a house without enough bricks or cement. You might have the blueprint, but you don't have the tools to get it done. And that's why these two vitamins matter so much. They don't just help with energy or metabolism, they literally control how efficiently your body rebuilds muscle tissue while you're sleeping. So let's talk about the first one, a vitamin that plays a silent but critical role in muscle regeneration: vitamin D. Most people think of vitamin D as the sunshine vitamin, good for your bones, immune system, and mood. And that's true. But here's the fascinating part. Vitamin D is actually a hormone-like compound that directly influences muscle protein synthesis, the process your body uses to rebuild damaged muscle tissue. Studies have shown that people who are low in vitamin D not only have weaker muscles, but also struggle with recovery, especially after strength training or injury. But what's even more surprising is that vitamin D interacts with your sleep cycle. It helps regulate melatonin production, which affects how deeply you sleep. And as you know, the deeper your sleep, the better your recovery. When you take vitamin D in the evening, especially in combination with magnesium, it can enhance the quality of your deep sleep, which in turn allows your body to produce more growth hormone naturally. That's the hormone responsible for muscle repair and fat metabolism overnight. Think about that. One simple nutrient can help you sleep better and rebuild faster without fancy protein powders or nighttime shakes. But here's the kicker: most people take vitamin D in the morning because that's what they've been told. And yes, sunlight does naturally boost your vitamin D during the day. But if you're using a supplement, Timing it with your evening meal might actually help those repair signals work better through the night, especially if you pair it with healthy fats to improve absorption. Remember, vitamin D is fat soluble, so it works best with foods like avocado, olive oil, or a handful of nuts. The second vitamin, and this one might surprise you, is vitamin B6. This humblebee vitamin doesn't get nearly enough attention, but it's one of the most powerful tools your body uses to convert amino acids into usable muscle tissue. Basically, B6 helps your body turn the protein you eat into actual repair material for your muscles. Without enough B6, your protein just sits there, underutilized. But that's not all. B6 is deeply connected to neurotransmitters in the brain, especially serotonin and GABA, which help calm your nervous system and prepare your body for deep, restorative sleep. Imagine this. When you combine vitamin D and vitamin B6 at night, something remarkable happens. You're improving both the physical and neurological sides of recovery. Vitamin D supports muscle repair and hormone balance, while B6 calms the nervous system and enhances protein metabolism. Together, they create the perfect internal environment for your muscles to rebuild efficiently while you rest. This combination can help you wake up feeling less sore, more energized, and ready to perform better. Not because you trained harder, but because you recovered smarter. I know it sounds almost too simple. 2 vitamins taken at the right time, and suddenly your recovery improves. But that's the beauty of understanding your body's natural cycles. Your body doesn't grow when you're lifting weights. It grows when you're resting. So, if your nighttime recovery is weak, it doesn't matter how much effort you put in at the gym. You're leaving half your progress on the table. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say you train hard in the evening, maybe a full body workout or a run that pushes your limits. Afterward, you have a meal with some protein, maybe a shake, then you unwind and go to bed. But your body can't start muscle repair until it has the right enzymes and cofactors ready to go. That's what vitamins like D and B6 provide. They act like keys that unlock the repair machinery. Without them, your recovery might still happen, but slowly, inefficiently, and incompletely. That's why so many people wake up sore, tired, and frustrated. Here's something else that's fascinating. Vitamin B6 is a major player in the production of melatonin, the hormone that signals your brain it's time to sleep. If you've ever had trouble falling asleep after intense exercise, it's often because your nervous system is still overstimulated. B6 helps convert tryptophan, an amino acid found in foods like turkey and bananas, into serotonin and then into melatonin. So, taking B6 at night can gently support your body's natural sleep rhythm, while also setting the stage for better muscle recovery. But not all forms of B6 are equal. The most effective one for nighttime recovery is pyridoxal 5-phosphate, also known as P5P. That's the active form your body can use right away without needing to convert it. If you've ever taken B vitamins and felt jittery or restless, it might be because you were taking synthetic forms that your body struggled to process. So, if you're looking for results, go for the active version. Your body will thank you. Let's talk about what happens when you pair these 2 nutrients together over time. Within a week or 2, most people start noticing they fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up with more energy. Over a month or more, their muscle soreness decreases, their strength improves, and their morning fatigue fades. That's because you're not just working out your muscles anymore, you're optimizing the invisible recovery system behind them. And this brings up an important point. Supplements are only as powerful as your lifestyle allows them to be. So if you want these vitamins to truly work overnight, make sure you support them with a few simple habits. First, avoid heavy, sugary meals late at night. They spike insulin and interfere with growth hormone release. Instead, go for a light, protein-rich dinner with healthy fats, something like grilled salmon, eggs, or a handful of almonds. That way, when you take your vitamin D and B6, your body can absorb them properly and use them for what they're meant to do. Second, make sure you're getting enough magnesium. It's not one of our two main stars tonight, but magnesium works hand in hand with both vitamin D and B6. It helps relax your muscles, quiet your mind, and improve sleep quality, all of which amplify the effect of your nighttime recovery vitamins. In fact, if you've ever had restless legs or trouble staying asleep, it could be a magnesium deficiency holding you back. Another thing worth mentioning, don't expect miracles overnight. Your body needs consistency. Think of it like training your muscles to recover better. Every night you nourish your body properly, you're building momentum. Over time, those small improvements add up to major results. Stronger muscles, better sleep, and more energy throughout the day. And yes, before you ask, it's always best to get your vitamins from real food first. For vitamin D, that means getting some sunlight when you can. Even 15 minutes a day makes a difference. For B6, focus on foods like chickpeas, tuna, bananas, and chicken breast. But if your scheduled diet or location doesn't allow you to get enough, a quality supplement can help bridge that gap. Let's zoom out for a second. Why does this even matter? Why should you care about what happens while you sleep? Because your nighttime recovery determines how your body performs the next day. If you're constantly pushing your body, but not giving it the nutrients it needs to repair, you're essentially driving with the gas pedal pressed down and no oil in the engine. Sooner or later, something gives out. But when you fuel recovery correctly, you build resilience, strength, and longevity. You stop burning out and start bouncing back stronger every single morning. Here's something I want you to try tonight. Before bed, take your vitamin D with a small snack that includes healthy fat, maybe a few almonds or a spoon of Greek yogurt. Then take your B6, ideally in its active form. Turn off screens 30 minutes before sleeping, dim your lights, and give your body the chance to relax naturally. Do that for just 1 week and pay attention to how you feel in the morning. You might notice that your sleep feels deeper, your recovery faster, and your energy steadier. That's your body thanking you for giving it what it needed all along. And I want to emphasize something important. This isn't about magic pills or quick fixes. It's about understanding how your body really works. So many people chase supplements because they promise fast results. But real transformation comes from syncing your habits with your biology. Vitamin D and B6 aren't new discoveries. They've been in our biology forever. We just forgot how to use them properly. One more thing that might surprise you. These vitamins also affect mood and mental recovery, not just physical. A well-rested nervous system is just as important as well-rested muscles. Vitamin B6 helps regulate serotonin levels, which affects your mood and motivation. Vitamin D influences dopamine, which impacts focus and drive. So when you combine them, you're not just helping your body recover physically, you're also sharpening your mental edge for the next day. That's why some people report waking up not just feeling less sore, but also more optimistic and focused. That's the power of proper recovery nutrition. Let's talk a little about what not to do. Don't combine these vitamins with caffeine, alcohol, or high sugar snacks before bed. They interfere with absorption and disrupt your sleep cycle. Avoid taking them on an empty stomach, too, because both vitamins are better absorbed when paired with food, especially something with healthy fats. And don't fall into the trap of more is better. With vitamins, balance is everything. Stick to the recommended doses for most adults, around 1.3 to 2 mg of B6 daily and 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D, depending on your needs and doctor's advice. Too much of anything, even something natural, can backfire. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to take more supplements, it's to get smarter about what your body really needs and when. Timing matters. Just like you wouldn't drink coffee right before bed, you shouldn't take your recovery nutrients at the wrong time either. Nighttime is when your body's natural repair systems kick in, so feeding them exactly what they need just makes sense. And here's something powerful to think about. What if the real secret to building muscle isn't just in your training program, or your diet, or your supplements, but in how well you sleep and recover? What if the strongest version of you is waiting to be built while you rest? That's the idea behind taking these 2 vitamins at night. You're not forcing your body to grow, you're allowing it to do what it already knows how to do: rebuild, regenerate, and renew. You're simply removing the obstacles and giving it the right tools. The next time you see someone obsessing over omega-3 supplements or chasing the latest fitness trend, you'll know better. Omega-3s are great. Don't get me wrong. They help with inflammation and general health, but they're not the magic bullet for muscle recovery. The real secret happens when you combine nutrient timing with smart recovery. That's when you'll notice the biggest changes, not just in your muscles, but in how you feel every single day. Because at the end of the day, your body's goal isn't to look good, it's to function at its best. Strong muscles, steady energy, deep sleep, balanced mood. Those are the signs that your body is thriving. And when you give it the right nutrients, especially at the right time, it rewards you with strength, resilience, and vitality that no supplement label can promise. Tonight, as you get ready for bed, remember, your best recovery doesn't start in the gym. It starts right here in your nightly routine. Forget the hype, forget the fish oil craze, and start giving your body what it truly needs to rebuild overnight. Vitamin D, vitamin B6. 2 simple nutrients, 1 powerful change. Give them a week, and you might just wake up feeling like a whole new person. And this brings us to something most people completely overlook: the incredible connection between melatonin, serotonin, and vitamin B6. Together, they form what I like to call the recovery triangle, the silent trio that determines how well your muscles regenerate while you sleep. We often think of muscle growth as something purely physical, tied only to protein intake or resistance training. But in reality, your muscles respond just as much to the state of your nervous system and your hormonal balance. This triangle, melatonin, serotonin, and vitamin B6, works like a finely tuned orchestra that directs how your body transitions from the stress of the day to the deep recovery mode of the night. Let's start with serotonin. Serotonin is your body's natural mood stabilizer, but it's also the first step in the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. During the day, serotonin keeps you alert, focused, and emotionally balanced, but as evening approaches, your brain begins to convert serotonin into melatonin. This conversion, however, doesn't happen efficiently on its own. It needs a catalyst. And that's where vitamin B6 comes in. Vitamin B6 acts as a coenzyme that helps your body convert tryptophan, an amino acid found in foods like eggs and turkey, into serotonin, and later into melatonin. Without enough B6, this process slows down dramatically. That means even if you eat the right foods or try to maintain a regular sleep schedule, your body might still struggle to produce enough melatonin to trigger deep, restorative sleep. Now, why does this matter for muscle recovery? Because melatonin is not just a sleep hormone, it's also one of the body's most powerful antioxidants. It helps reduce oxidative stress in muscle tissue that builds up from intense training, long work days, or even emotional stress. Every time you exercise, your muscles generate free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage cell membranes and slow down recovery. Melatonin neutralizes those free radicals while you sleep, protecting your muscle fibers from unnecessary wear and tear. When vitamin B6 ensures that enough serotonin is being converted into melatonin, it's not just helping you sleep, it's actively supporting your muscles at a cellular level, allowing them to rebuild faster and more efficiently. It's also worth noting that serotonin and melatonin both interact directly with your nervous system. After a tough workout, your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight system, is still active. That's why many people find it hard to fall asleep after late night exercise. Their body is ready to rest, but their nervous system is still on high alert. The serotonin-melatonin pathway, supported by vitamin B6, helps shift your body from that wired, alert state into a calm, parasympathetic state, the rest and repair mode. This shift is essential for proper recovery because most anabolic processes, like protein synthesis, tissue regeneration, and hormone release, occur when the parasympathetic system is dominant. There's another fascinating layer to this triangle. Vitamin B6 doesn't just assist in neurotransmitter conversion, it also influences how your muscles use energy. It plays a role in glycogen breakdown, ensuring that your muscles can access stored energy efficiently during rest. This is important because muscle recovery isn't only about repairing damage, it's also about replenishing energy reserves. When your muscles can refill their glycogen stores efficiently overnight, you wake up with more strength and stamina, ready to perform at a higher level the next day. So while melatonin and serotonin take care of your mental and hormonal recovery, vitamin B6 works quietly behind the scenes, helping your muscles refuel. And let's not forget the psychological side of recovery. Serotonin levels directly influence mood, motivation, and emotional stability. When serotonin is low, you feel anxious, restless, and unmotivated. Not exactly the mindset you need for consistent fitness progress. By supporting serotonin production, vitamin B6 indirectly helps you maintain a stable, positive mindset, which makes it easier to stay consistent with workouts and nutrition. Over time, this consistency compounds into visible physical transformation. It's one of those invisible benefits that doesn't show up on a supplement label, but makes all the difference in the long run. Many people underestimate how tightly their mood and their muscle recovery are connected. When you're stressed or emotionally drained, your cortisol levels rise. Cortisol, the stress hormone, interferes with both serotonin production and protein synthesis. That means even if you're eating perfectly and training intelligently, chronic stress can completely stall your muscle recovery. But when the recovery triangle is functioning properly, serotonin helps keep cortisol in check, melatonin promotes deep sleep that lowers stress hormones, and vitamin B6 ensures that both systems stay balanced. It's a beautifully interconnected process, one that modern lifestyles often disrupt without even realizing it. Think about how many of us live under constant artificial light, stay glued to screens until midnight, and rely on caffeine to push through the day. All of that suppresses natural melatonin production and throws off serotonin balance. Add poor nutrition on top of that, and your vitamin B6 levels start to dip. The result? You can't fall asleep easily. Your recovery suffers, and you wake up feeling unrefreshed no matter how many hours you sleep. Over time, that leads to chronic fatigue, reduced muscle tone, and slower progress, even if your workouts are great. The body simply can't recover because the chemical signals that initiate recovery are misfiring. But when you start to restore that balance, when you support your serotonin and melatonin production through proper vitamin B6 intake. Everything starts to shift. Your sleep becomes deeper, your mood stabilizes, and your muscle recovery accelerates. This is why taking B6 at night is so effective. It aligns perfectly with your body's natural rhythm of serotonin to melatonin conversion. It gives your brain and your muscles the exact support they need at the exact time they need it. There's also a fascinating connection between melatonin and growth hormone. Research shows that melatonin can naturally increase the secretion of growth hormone during sleep. Growth hormone is one of the primary drivers of muscle repair, tissue regeneration, and fat metabolism. When your melatonin levels rise in the evening, supported by adequate B6, it triggers a cascade that tells your pituitary gland to release more growth hormone. This hormone then goes to work rebuilding your muscles, repairing connective tissue, and even improving skin and bone health. In this way, vitamin B6 isn't just helping you sleep better, it's helping to amplify one of the most important recovery hormones in your entire body. Interestingly, the body's ability to produce serotonin and melatonin declines with age, which is one reason older adults often experience poorer sleep and slower recovery. But studies show that maintaining healthy vitamin B6 levels can help slow this decline. In other words, this recovery triangle becomes even more important as we age. If you're over 40 or 50 and struggling with energy or recovery, supporting this pathway can make a dramatic difference in how your body performs and heals. On a biochemical level, the process is remarkably elegant. During the day, exposure to natural light stimulates serotonin production, which keeps you alert and focused. Then, as daylight fades and darkness sets in, your pineal gland begins converting that serotonin into melatonin, signaling your body that it's time to rest. Vitamin B6 serves as the cofactor in this conversion, ensuring it happens smoothly. This natural rhythm is what allows your body to synchronize its internal clock, your circadian rhythm, with the external world. But when your diet lacks B6 or your sleep routine is irregular, this rhythm gets disrupted. You might still sleep, but it won't be the kind of deep, restorative sleep that supports muscle rebuilding. You can see how all of this comes together. Vitamin B6 acts as the biochemical bridge, serotonin sets the emotional and neurological foundation, and melatonin carries out the recovery work. If any part of this triangle is weak, your recovery suffers. If all three are strong, your body operates like a well-oiled machine. Every night becomes an opportunity for regeneration instead of exhaustion. Let's take it even deeper. Serotonin also interacts with your gut. In fact, about 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in your intestines. That means gut health directly affects your mood, sleep, and recovery. Vitamin B6 supports this gut-brain connection by aiding in enzyme production and nutrient metabolism in the digestive system. So when you're supporting the serotonin, melatonin, B6 triangle, you're also improving digestion and nutrient absorption, which further enhances your recovery potential. A healthy gut means more amino acids, minerals, and vitamins reach your muscles for repair, completing the cycle. And what about melatonin's antioxidant power? Beyond reducing oxidative stress, melatonin also protects mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your muscle cells. When mitochondria are healthy, they produce more ATP, the energy currency your muscles rely on. During sleep, melatonin helps mitochondria repair their membranes and neutralize reactive oxygen species. This is critical because damaged mitochondria lead to weaker muscle contractions and slower recovery. So, by supporting melatonin production through adequate vitamin B6 intake, you're indirectly boosting mitochondrial function, which improves endurance, strength, and recovery capacity over time. Even your immune system benefits from this triangle. During deep sleep, your body releases cytokines, immune molecules that repair inflammation and infection. Melatonin helps regulate this process, ensuring that your immune response doesn't go overboard and damage healthy muscle tissue. Serotonin, in turn, influences how your brain perceives pain and fatigue, while B6 ensures the whole system has the metabolic energy it needs to function efficiently. This intricate coordination allows your body to recover from both physical exertion and immune challenges simultaneously. Now imagine what happens when this entire system is optimized. You fall asleep easily because your serotonin levels are balanced. You stay asleep because melatonin production is steady. During that sleep, your growth hormone peaks, your muscles repair, your mitochondria regenerate, your cortisol drops, and you wake up with real energy. Not the kind you force with caffeine, but the deep, calm vitality that comes from true recovery. That's the difference between just resting and actually rebuilding. When you understand the recovery triangle, you realize that supplements aren't about quick results. They're about restoring natural processes that modern life disrupts. Vitamin B6 isn't a stimulant. It's a facilitator. It reminds your body how to heal itself by supporting the chemical messengers that control recovery. And once you experience that balance, when your sleep deepens, your soreness fades faster, and your mood stays steady, you start to appreciate how interconnected everything truly is. So, while everyone else is chasing the next trendy supplement or pre-workout formula, the real secret might be something as simple and ancient as giving your body the nutrients it needs to restore its own rhythm. The serotonin, melatonin, and vitamin B6 triangle isn't flashy, but it's foundational. It's the chemistry of calm, the biology of recovery, and the key to waking up stronger every morning without needing to push harder. It's about working with your body, not against it, and letting nature's design do what it's always done, rebuild you while you sleep. And there's another layer to this story that ties everything together. How evening vitamin D supports your body's circadian rhythm and deep sleep cycles. Something most people never think about when they reach for their supplements. We usually associate vitamin D with sunlight and daytime energy, which makes sense because that's when your skin naturally produces it. But what few people realize is that the way vitamin D interacts with your hormones, your brain, and your internal clock can actually make your sleep deeper, more stable, and more restorative when it's properly timed. It's not just a vitamin for your bones or your mood. It's one of the key regulators of how your entire body synchronizes with the rhythm of day and night. The circadian rhythm is your body's internal clock, a 24-hour cycle that controls everything from hormone release to digestion to body temperature. It's the system that tells your body when to be alert and when to rest. But this rhythm is incredibly sensitive. It can be thrown off by stress, artificial light, inconsistent sleep schedules, or even poor nutrition. When that happens, your sleep becomes fragmented, your hormone cycles go out of sync, and your body's ability to repair itself during the night weakens. This is where vitamin D steps in as an unlikely but powerful stabilizer. Inside your brain, in a small region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or SCN, is the master clock that coordinates your circadian rhythm. This clock receives signals from light exposure, temperature, and hormones to decide when to activate wakefulness and when to trigger rest. Vitamin D plays a subtle but vital role here because it affects the expression of clock genes, the genetic mechanisms that keep your circadian rhythm running smoothly. When your vitamin D levels are balanced, these clock genes stay synchronized, ensuring your body knows when to transition from alertness to deep sleep without confusion. But when you're deficient in vitamin D, these signals start to falter. You might find yourself wide awake late at night, unable to fall asleep, or waking up multiple times with no clear reason. Even more interesting is how vitamin D interacts with melatonin, the hormone that dictates your sleep cycle. Melatonin and vitamin D have an inverse relationship. When one is high, the other tends to be low. During the day, sunlight raises vitamin D and suppresses melatonin to keep you awake. As evening comes, melatonin rises and vitamin D activity naturally tapers off. But when you take vitamin D strategically in the evening, you're not disrupting that balance. You're actually reinforcing it, especially if your body's internal rhythm is already disrupted by low daytime light exposure or excessive screen time at night. The right dose can help your body regulate melatonin production more smoothly, reducing the spikes and crashes that lead to restless sleep. Now, you might wonder how a vitamin associated with daylight can help you at night. The answer lies in the way vitamin D supports calcium regulation, muscle relaxation, and nervous system balance, all critical components for falling into deep sleep. Calcium ions play a big role in how neurons communicate. When calcium balance is off, nerve activity can become too erratic, making it harder for your brain to settle down into the slow, rhythmic patterns associated with deep sleep. Vitamin D helps regulate calcium absorption and utilization, ensuring that your nervous system stays calm as you transition into sleep. This is one of the reasons people with vitamin D deficiency often report insomnia, nighttime anxiety, or a sense of restlessness that keeps them from entering true restorative rest. There's another fascinating aspect to this. Vitamin D receptors are found in many areas of the brain that are responsible for regulating sleep, including the hypothalamus. When vitamin D binds to these receptors, it influences the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which both play roles in mood and sleep quality. Balanced dopamine levels make it easier to feel alert during the day and relaxed at night, while serotonin serves as the precursor for melatonin, which we already know is essential for sleep onset. So, when your vitamin D status is optimal, it keeps this entire chain reaction functioning smoothly, preventing the hormonal chaos that often leads to light, broken sleep. What makes evening vitamin D particularly effective is that it aligns supplementation with your body's repair cycle. Most of your body's restorative processes, including muscle rebuilding and tissue regeneration, occur during the deep sleep phases, slow wave and REM sleep. These stages depend heavily on stable circadian signaling. When vitamin D helps your internal clock stay in sync, it ensures those stages happen at the right time and for the right duration. You're not just sleeping longer, you're sleeping smarter. Your body uses that time to release growth hormone, repair microtears in your muscles, and strengthen your immune system. Without proper circadian rhythm stability, these processes can be delayed or disrupted, leaving you tired and sore even after a full night's rest. Vitamin D also plays an important role in regulating inflammation, which is another factor that affects how well you sleep. Inflammation increases levels of cytokines, immune molecules that, when elevated at night, can interfere with sleep architecture and keep your nervous system on edge. Studies have shown that vitamin D helps modulate cytokine production, keeping inflammation in check and allowing your body to enter deeper sleep without the background noise of systemic stress. That's why people who correct their vitamin D deficiency often notice that their sleep becomes more peaceful, their recovery quicker, and their energy steadier throughout the day. And here's something that's often overlooked. Vitamin D helps control the production of serotonin in the brain by activating the enzyme tryptophan hydroxylase. This is the same pathway that vitamin B6 supports, which means when you take both vitamins together, you're reinforcing the entire sleep, regulation system from multiple angles. Vitamin B6 helps convert tryptophan to serotonin, and vitamin D ensures that the process happens efficiently by activating the enzyme responsible. Together, they support serotonin balance during the day and melatonin conversion at night, keeping your mood stable and your sleep cycle intact. This is one reason why people who take these nutrients together at night report not only deeper sleep, but also more vivid dreams and a calmer state of mind before bed. Let's also look at how vitamin D supports your body's core temperature rhythm, another critical part of the sleep cycle. Normally, your core temperature drops slightly as you fall asleep, signaling your brain to enter deep rest. Vitamin D influences this temperature regulation by interacting with the hypothalamus and affecting vasodilation, or the widening of blood vessels. When this process works smoothly, your body cools down naturally, helping you drift into sleep more easily. But when your vitamin D levels are off, your temperature regulation becomes less efficient, which can lead to tossing, turning, and shallow sleep. Taking vitamin D in the evening helps restore that smooth thermal rhythm, especially when combined with proper hydration and magnesium intake, which further relaxes your muscles and nerves. What's really fascinating is how this circadian support doesn't just affect your night. It influences your entire 24-hour energy pattern. A stable circadian rhythm means your cortisol, the hormone that wakes you up in the morning, peaks at the right time instead of lingering late into the evening. That means you fall asleep faster, wake up more refreshed, and your daytime focus improves. It's a full circle effect. Evening vitamin D strengthens your sleep-wake cycle, and that improved rhythm enhances your daytime energy, which in turn supports better sleep the following night. This rhythm, once established, becomes self-sustaining, and your body begins to operate with precision instead of fatigue and chaos. Now imagine coupling this with the muscle recovery benefits we discussed earlier. While you're sleeping deeply, guided by a stabilized circadian rhythm, your body is in its most anabolic state. Growth hormone peaks, testosterone is regulated, cortisol drops, and your muscle tissues rebuild themselves using the nutrients you provided throughout the day. Vitamin D doesn't just sit on the sidelines here, it's actively involved in calcium and phosphate metabolism within muscle cells, ensuring that the rebuilding process has the structural support it needs. Low vitamin D impairs this mechanism, leading to weaker contractions, reduced endurance, and slower adaptation to training. But when your levels are optimal and your sleep is deep, your muscles regenerate with precision, and you start noticing that your recovery times shrink and your strength improves more quickly. Interestingly, vitamin D's role in stabilizing sleep goes beyond the brain and muscles. It even affects the cardiovascular system. During deep sleep, your heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, and your cardiovascular system repairs itself. Vitamin D helps regulate endothelial function, which controls blood vessel relaxation and constriction. Better vascular flexibility means better blood flow, which supports not just heart health, but also the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to muscle tissue overnight. This kind of systemic recovery is what allows athletes and active individuals to perform consistently without burning out. Another layer to consider is how vitamin D helps regulate insulin sensitivity overnight. When your body's circadian rhythm is disrupted, insulin resistance tends to rise, which can lead to higher blood sugar levels during the night. That not only affects metabolic health, but also interferes with sleep quality, as fluctuating blood sugar can cause nighttime awakenings and restless sleep. Vitamin D improves insulin sensitivity, helping maintain steady blood glucose throughout the night. This balance prevents those energy crashes that make you wake up groggy or craving sugar in the morning. It's easy to see how all of this connects. Evening vitamin D isn't about simply taking a pill. It's about aligning your biology with the natural rhythm it's designed to follow. Most people's lifestyles today completely disrupt this rhythm. Constant exposure to blue light suppresses melatonin. Late night meals throw off digestion timing, and irregular sleep schedules confuse the brain's internal clock. Supplementing vitamin D in the evening helps counterbalance some of these modern stressors by restoring order to the body's timing system. It's like giving your internal clock a reliable cue that signals, it's time to repair now. Even your mental clarity the next day depends on this process. When you sleep deeply, supported by balanced vitamin D levels, your brain's glymphatic system, the waste-clearing mechanism, activates more efficiently. This system flushes out toxins and metabolic waste that build up during the day. Poor sleep leaves this waste partially cleared, which contributes to brain fog and fatigue. So by improving your sleep depth through circadian rhythm support, vitamin D indirectly boosts your next day's focus, reaction time, and motivation, all essential for anyone committed to fitness or personal growth. What's particularly remarkable is that this relationship between vitamin D and sleep is bidirectional. Poor sleep lowers vitamin D absorption and activation in the body, while low vitamin D levels cause poor sleep. It's a vicious cycle that many people unknowingly live in for years. The good news is that breaking that cycle is surprisingly simple. A small evening dose of vitamin D, taken with a light meal that includes healthy fats, can begin to reprogram your body's rhythm within days. As your sleep stabilizes, your body uses that time to better activate and utilize the vitamin D you're taking, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces both sleep quality and overall recovery. There's also growing evidence that vitamin D influences genetic expression related to circadian rhythm stability. It helps regulate the production of PR and BMAL1, two of the key clock proteins that determine the timing of your sleep-wake cycles. When these proteins are expressed correctly, your sleep schedule naturally becomes more consistent, even without forcing it. You start getting sleepy at the right time, waking up at the right time, and feeling alert when you should be. Over weeks, this consistency transforms your overall health from hormone balance to metabolism to immune resilience. And while sunlight remains the best natural source of vitamin D, most people today simply don't get enough exposure. Indoor lifestyles, sunscreen use, and seasonal changes limit natural synthesis. That's why supplement timing becomes so crucial. Taking vitamin D at night doesn't replace sunlight. It helps mimic some of the stabilizing effects that regular exposure to natural light would have had on your circadian system. It's a practical way to give your body the signal it's been missing, especially during darker months or in environments where natural light exposure is limited. So when we talk about evening vitamin D, we're really talking about restoring biological harmony, the natural ebb and flow that dictates how well you sleep, how effectively you recover, and how energized you feel each day. It's the bridge between your external environment and your internal systems, ensuring that your body's clock keeps ticking in perfect rhythm with the world around you. When that rhythm is strong, every part of you, your muscles, your brain, your hormones, your heart, operates in sync. And that's when you start feeling truly alive, not just rested.